one of the reasons it works very well for things like invoices, where there's a lot of variety in the layout and the logic and so on, is that it's always possible to try multiple methods to get a result. And evaluators are part of achieving that. So sometimes the place to look for speciality is in the header of a letter, but you may or may not find it there. And sometimes you may find it in the footer of a letter. So I'm going to have two goes at getting the rheumatologist text out of here. The first is the one we've just seen, that we look for the word dear, we look above that, and we find anything in the dictionary. The second one is I'm going to look for the word yours, which is typically how a letter is signed off, and then look below that, and then again use the same logic of looking in the dictionary. So I'll change this search to be letter. Closing, change that to be yours. What that means now is that this, yeah, so these are my two efforts to get the same result. One is looking at the top of the letter using that first bit of logic, and this is using the word yours and then looking below that to get the one in the signature. In general, they may not both work, and I might say, well, I'll try the header approach first, and if that works, I'll take it, and if not, I'll try this fallback approach of looking down here. And that's where the concept of evaluators comes in. So I've got approach 1 and approach 2 to getting the same data, and I only want to use them in priority order. So for that, I've got multiple evaluators here to look for results closest to the top of the document, closest to the bottom of the document, and various things like that. But this one allows me to put in multiple techniques. It will go through them in the order that I've defined and only use the ones that the first one that gave some results. And then it won't even bother to execute this one. It allows you to encode things like, try this first. If that fails, try this. If that fails, try this. If that fails, try this. With something like invoice processing is very powerful because there isn't just one way to get an invoice number. And you can therefore just stack all of these approaches together using this concept of evaluators. So what this should mean here is that now it's tried this and it's got a result, so therefore it didn't bother to look at the other one, just got a single result. Okay, if I wanted to change the priority order of that, say actually try the bottom approach first, then you would see that that would now give me this one. And it's, again, it's got a result, so it hasn't bothered to look up here. So as I said, there's a number of those. All of these things in the toolbox are different forms of evaluators, but choose first is one of the most common ones to use.